Grace Richards, Marketing Manager, you may begin your conference.
Thank you, Keith. Hello, everyone. I wanted to thank you for joining us today. My name is Grace Richards, and I'm the Marketing Manager for Health Professions at Jones & Bartlett Learning. Today, we have with me our Executive Editor, Rhonda Dearborn, as well as Dr. Moini, author of our recently published textbook, Anatomy and Physiology for Health Professionals, 2nd edition. I'd like to start with some quick details about the text, and then Dr. Moini will present information about the content and the layout of his text and show some examples, and also talk about instructor resources. And then I will follow up with information about our online Navigate To resources for students. And finally, we'll conclude with a question and answer session where we'll take any of your questions that you might have. As I mentioned, the textbook was just published on the 27th of January. The ISBN is listed here, as well as the net and list price. And each new print textbook includes an access code to our Navigate To Advantage Access digital resources. Dr. Moini is a professor of science and health at Eastern Florida State College. He has also been a professor at Turan University School of Medicine, as well as a former professor and director of allied health at Everest University. And Dr. Moini has also worked as a health educator consultant for a Florida County Health Department. We are very pleased to have Dr. Moini join us today and present information about his new text. Dr. Moini, I'd like to introduce you and turn it over to you.
Thank you. Hello, everyone. As she mentioned, my name is Jahangir Moini, and the 2nd edition book is very different with the 1st edition because it contains 6 units, 24 chapters, and I add 4 new chapters. For example, joints, and also I add the nervous system in 3 chapters: neural tissue, central nervous system, and peripheral nervous system. And this book also contains a lot of focus on pathology, because it's going to connect anatomy and physiology with pathology, with a special picture as a case study for pathology. And also, at the end of each chapter, I have entire the book, 15 multiple choice questions, and I add 10 essay questions that they are going to appear. And this book is unique because entire book I have done 10 objectives, and at the end of each chapter I have explained all of those objectives. And also it contains a lot of X-ray imaging and CT scan and MRI. And also this book, at the end of each chapter, I have offered effects of aging on various body systems. And the table of contents, I think you can see. And for cardiovascular disorders and other chapters, I have expanded a lot in detail, more than chapter 1, that it be more comprehensive and easy to understand, that it can connect those. All of those, this chapter, they have, at the end of each topic, assess your learning questions, test your knowledge questions, and critical thinking questions. This book has a lot of benefit for students and for instructors, because I have provided a comprehensive overview human anatomy physiology for students, and also it has, as I mentioned, X-ray, CT scan, MRI, those, and in the navigation, Two, we have more than 3,000 multiple choice questions, different type of questions, matching questions, figures questions, and also it has a test bank for instructor. And more than 2,400 or more than 2,600 PowerPoints for all chapters. One of example of chapters that you can see, I select chapter 3, for example, the cell. You can see the book has 10 objectives, an outline, and the next slide is showing the figures. Some of my chapters, they have 10 to 15 various figures and tables that explain everything to them. And here you can see test your understanding questions. At each topic, after each topic, 2 or 3, depends on the length of the chapter, I have asked test your understanding, that they are related to this. And also focus on pathology. Some of those, they don't have any figure or pictures. Some other chapters, they are coming with a figure of patients' disorders. And also focus on pathology. You can see different. There are a lot of tables that they are very important and easy to understand for students, which is summarize the whole chapters or topics. Chapter summary. At the end of each chapter, we have a summary, the most important part of the chapter. And then we have a key term. The explanation of each term, they are in glossary. And here is unique. The learning goal is response to all of those objectives. Because if a student, they don't understand what is the objective of the chapter, they won't be able to comprehend that chapter. So I have explained at the end of each chapter. And throughout the book is consistent with 15 multiple choice questions and critical thinking questions, 2, 3, 4, it depends. A short history of patients, for example, and also 10 essay questions. Yeah. And instructor resources, as you can see, for each chapter, it depends. 100, 150 slides they do have for each chapter. I do have also instructor manual that they are giving, featuring sample syllabus, teaching strategy, lecture outline, discussion topics, and image bank and answer key. Answer key only would be accessible to the instructor. And the test bank consists of 70 to 130 questions per chapter. It would combine with multiple choice questions, true and false, matching questions, or figures for matching.
Thank you, Dr. Moini. Along with these wonderful chapter elements and chapter features in the text, as well as the instructor resources, we have some fabulous online student resources with our Navigate 2 package. As I mentioned, the access code to Navigate 2 is included with every new textbook. These online resources will be available in late March. Any student that has the textbook currently can enter their code, and they will be entered into a lounge waiting area. We've collected all the email addresses, and we will alert people when these resources are live. As well as the textbook and online package, students can purchase the digital-only package, which is only half the cost of the textbook. For this textbook, the Navigate 2 resources would only be $38.95. And these Navigate resources can be used within all types of course formats, whether it's an online course, a hybrid course, or a traditional course. And different portions of the Navigate 2 Advantage access include a complete ebook. For this text, there are some animations included that show blood flow and fluid flow through the body. Along in the ebook, as the student progresses through the chapters, there are knowledge checks that pop up where they can answer a question on something they've just read. This will help with some retention and comprehension. There are also end-of-chapter graded quizzes. Other assessments include a midterm and a final, and all of these quantitative assessments are automatically graded and entered into the Instructor grade book. The student also can see learning objectives and access other helpful resources like online flashcards and practice activities, as well as an overview of the chapter in a PowerPoint. Just to give you an idea of what our Navigate 2 platform looks like, this is a different textbook. But you can see under the lessons pathway, there are blocks for each of the chapters, and the student can go in and start to read information on each chapter or do activities within each chapter. Over on the left, there's a section for course announcements. Students can enter their own reminders, or instructors can enter their assignments and due dates. This is an example of another ebook, just to show the format. Students can page through using the tabs on the left and right or down in the center here. Students can add notes with a little pop-up window and type in some notes. They can actually add a voice-recorded note on a certain page and include a note with a link to another resource if they've found something on the web they'd like to refer to when they go back to study. And students can highlight certain sections and draw an underline or mark certain sections of the book. This would erase any of the marks that they're making. Students can bookmark certain pages. They can use a search function to search for keywords. They can print some of the pages. They can see the online glossary as well as a table of contents. And under the Learning Tools pathway, the students can again get access to the ebook that we saw earlier with the chapter boxes, or if they want to go right to the study center, they can take a look at the flashcards and practice activities for a specific chapter, and also get to the assessments quickly. As I mentioned, within the ebook, there's certain sections where a knowledge check question would pop up within the ebook. It could be a multiple choice question like this where the student can answer and submit their answer. This is an example of a flashcard. The description is given and the student is asked to type in the term. They can check their answer. If they don't know it, it will show them the correct answer. And this is an example of the Instructor gradebook where you can see all of your students and their different assignments and grades. You can also see an activity report to show how long they've been in certain sections. And we are really thrilled to have this great package for you. I'm thrilled with all the work that Dr. Moini has done to put the text together, and these great online resources will be a great help to students as well. We have more information for you to take a look at just to show you more about this text. There is a microsite. I can jump over to that for a second. And you can request your review copy here. You can contact your account specialist. You can take a look at some sample chapters in front matter. You can look at some of the key terms and learning goals like we've shown here. You can see some different images in the text, sample images, illustrations, some of the radiology scans, and there's a few examples of the animations that are within the ebook. I want to thank everyone for joining us, and we'd like to flow into the question and answer session now. We have our operator, Keith, with us. If anyone would like to ask a question, we can take questions one at a time, and Dr. Moini or myself would be able to answer.
At this time, I would like to remind everyone, in order to ask a question, press star, then the number 1 on your telephone keypad. We'll pause for just a moment to compile the Q&A roster. Your first question comes from the line of Richard Angulo. Your line is open.
Yes, I just had 2 quick questions. Actually, the first one is this PowerPoint you guys are showing us on our desktops, is that available with the information to us so that I can have a more comprehensive feel for the text? And the second question is the ebook you were talking about in Navigate 2, does that match the textbook exactly, like page for page?
Yes, the ebook is the text in a digital format, so it is page by page the exact same as the printed textbook.
Except that it has the knowledge check and some of those other assets built inside of it.
So there are links where students can click on additional information that will pop up and help them. The chapter questions are right in there. The knowledge checks are right in there. Access to the animations would be right within the text where they belong to show something that is being described in the text. And we will have the PowerPoint available on the microsite that I showed you earlier. We will send everyone that has attended a link to the microsite with all the information so that you can access the PowerPoint and request a review copy. Did I answer all your questions?
And this presentation will be disseminated out. You said that already, right, Grace?
Yes. And
so you can share it with your colleagues, too. You can forward the link.
And this is also being recorded, so the recorded session will be available as well as the PowerPoint.
Right. So the link from this presentation will be a recorded presentation, and you can forward it or watch it again at your leisure.
Okay, that's terrific.
Your next question comes from the line of Shoshana Vucker. Your line is open.
Hello, yes. I was curious about the PowerPoints. Are they the figures? I saw some figures. Some have figures and figure legends. Are there also some slides that have text that correspond with the figures?
Dr. Moini, do you want to take that question?
Yes. All of those figures that they are in the book, they are on the PowerPoint, and they explain what is about the figure.
I see. So you mean in the figure legend, it includes what the figure is about, correct?
Definitely, yeah.
Okay.
And you'll also be able to get in touch with your account specialist to preview the instructor resources.
Mm-hmm.
Again, if you would like to ask a question, press star, then the number 1 on your telephone keypad. Your next question is from the line of Richard Angulio. Your line is open.
Yes, I'm sorry to be monopolizing all this, but I just want to make sure my understanding of this Navigate 2 is correct. It's kind of provides the student with additional resources that match the text, but it's also a class management system for the instructor. But when you were showing the listing of all the students that are in a particular class, that I presume is contingent on them paying the $38 to access that Navigate 2. Is that correct?
The Nav 2 access comes with the student textbook, so it's an added value item, in other words, free. So with their book, where they purchase the book, they get their access to the Nav 2, they get the ebook, They get the assessments like the midterm, and you, as the instructor, get the administration tool. It's a learning management system, just like Blackboard or anything else.
Right.
And it actually does work in Blackboard. We have a partnership with Blackboard, so if your institution is using Blackboard, this should work seamlessly for you. If, in fact, you're using Canvas or something else, you can work with your sales rep, and we can try to help you out to get a cartridge created for your school. But it's seamlessly going to work in Blackboard, and yes, you can use the NAV2 system to manage your class.
Okay, thank you.
I hope that helps, and please don't worry about asking questions. I'm sure whatever you're asking, a few others have the same question.
Your next question comes from the line of Andrew Nelos. Your line is open.
Hello. I have a question regarding lab exercises. I would like to know if this book also includes lab activities, exercises, and so on. And I usually have a lab about close to 2 hours with my group. So I would like to know if you have all this included in that package. Thank you.
Dr. Moini, do you want to talk about the kind of workbook-centered activities that you included for our NAV2 package?
I believe some of those figures, they can be created as a lab worksheet that they can give to students online, and the student, they can answer it, print it, and bring it to the class. Right now, I am doing the same for my students.
Dr. Moini, if you felt that there were enough customers who wanted lab sheets, we could add those to the NAV2
can add.
package.
Yeah, definitely. It's very easy. I can do that.
Yeah, we could always, and that's what's great about the online component for students, that we can, it's not like the textbook, it publishes, and then we have to wait for a reprint to make any changes or additions. With the NAV2, that we could keep adding components, so it's almost like an evergreen.
Yeah.
There are no further questions at this time. I'll turn the call back over to the presenters.
Thank you. Again, I want to thank everyone for joining us. As I mentioned, you can access the microsite that I showed you at go.jblearning.com/MoiniAP2, and I will send out the PowerPoint to everyone, as well as links to the microsite, links to the recorded presentation that you just participated in, as well as the PowerPoint. So we will make sure that you have all the information that you need to review this book, and we're very excited to hear your feedback, and we hope you will enjoy using this in your course. To get in touch with your account representative, you can find their email addresses on our website at go.jblearning.com/findarep, or you can call 800-832-0034. And again, all this information will be in our follow-up email. So thank you, Dr. Moini. I appreciate your time to present to all the instructors, and thank you to all the instructors on the line, and I will follow up with an email tomorrow once the recording is ready. So thank you all, and have a great day.
This concludes today's conference call. You may now